And a Tufts University doctoral student is free after she was taken by federal agents and spent 6 weeks in an ICE detention center in Louisiana. She's now warning the public not to forget about the hundreds of other women still being housed in detention centers.
In the last 45 days, I lost both my freedom and also my education during a crucial time for my doctoral studies. I am so excited to get back to my studies. I will continue my case in the courts. I came to United States to pursue my graduate studies, learn and grow as a scholar. America is the greatest democracy in the world, and I believe in those values that we share.
Now, her arrest came a year after she co-wrote an op-ed in a campus newspaper calling out Tufts University's response to the war in Gaza. She has not been charged with a crime, but was accused by the administration of participating in activities in support of Hamas. Now, prior to the arrest, the State Department revoked her student visa. A federal judge ordered her immediate release. For more on all of this, we are joined now by attorney David Katz. David, great to see you. Let's dive right in here. There's so much to cover. The federal judge in this case said that her arrest essentially raised significant due process and First Amendment concerns. Now, this student, to note, is not a U.S. citizen and is in the country on a student visa. The Trump administration saying here that the piece she co-authored in the student newspaper was reportedly a main reason her student visa was revoked. What do you make of that decision and the concerns as stated on both sides?
Well, the federal judge in Vermont who released her found that the only reason that she was singled out was because she had co-written this op-ed. And, you know, people in the United States, first of all, we want them here because they're studying. We want to be a center for scholarship and technical advancement and have this brain drain that favors us, all these smart people from all over the world studying here. And they do have rights. Yes, they're here on a student visa, but they have rights under the First Amendment and under the Due Process Clause. And the judge found that hers had been denied, and that if this ruling had stood, if she could be incarcerated and grabbed off the street and whisked off to a Louisiana hellhole prison, this would deter other people from expressing their views. And really, it would deter millions of people from coming here to study and bring their brains and their technical advancements to the United States. So hooray for this judge.
I want to broaden this out just a little bit, because on Friday, President Trump's top policy advisor, Stephen Miller, he said the privilege of habeas corpus can be suspended in a time of invasion, adding that the administration is considering this move in their border security fight as well. So, as you know, habeas corpus is a constitutional right for people to legally challenge their detention in court. This has been a cornerstone for migrants and foreign students fighting deportations. Congress would also have to approve suspending it, and that's something Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar said is not going to happen. Here's a clip.
The issue is that Stephen Miller brings that up on a Friday just to throw it out there. You heard the reaction of John Barrasso. This is not what they're talking about in Congress. Why is he doing that? So you ask me about it on a Sunday show. I'm telling you right now, he's doing it because they don't want to focus on what's really in front of them, and that they have created havoc in our economy. No, they're not going to reverse habeas corpus in the Congress. That's not going to happen.
David, what do you see as the administration's next moves, and do you believe habeas corpus may in fact be revoked?
Well, maybe Miller threw that out there so that you and I could discuss it on a Sunday show, and here we are. But the reality is that we've had this right for hundreds of years. It was one of the things that really mattered to why we had the American Revolution. And that this idea that you cannot be held arbitrarily. The executive is not a king, and the king or the executive, the president, can't hold you without your right to go to court and file a writ of habeas corpus saying you're holding me illegally. And the idea that this could be extended somehow to people who are allegedly illegally in the country, the problem is, how do we know they're allegedly illegally in the country? How do we know that they don't have a right to stay here? How do we know they don't have a valid asylum claim? Because they can go to court and say, under habeas corpus, I'm being treated unconstitutionally.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.